comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
It's a thief of joy. My daughter did an illustration in her high school. They do a thing at the middle school called it's young club or something, where they go over there and they share with the young people. And she had this icebreaker game, and she brought this pack of Sour Patch, which, I love Sour Patch, just watermelon Sour Patch. And the kid that won it got the Sour Patch pack, and all the kids are erupting at the middle school. No way, you got the Sour Patch. And she was, okay, so we're gonna do one more game. And so she did this other game, and she gave away a whole case to this kid of Sour Patch. And I was like, what? I just won the last time. And she goes, and you were totally happy with that, right? And she's like, until you saw that he was going to get a case of Sour Patch. And her whole point was, comparison is the thief of joy.
I love that. And
so we need to stay focused and fix our eyes on things to come and not necessarily on earthly things. When you can recognize what you really want to be known for. Do you want people to come to your funeral? He was a total workaholic. He had the best house in the whole neighborhood. He drove the sweetest car. And I don't know anything about him other than that. He worked he was never at a soccer game with his kids, and I don't know if he's still married to his wife, and I don't know if he drank or did drugs. I mean, I don't know. But he had a sweet house. Probably the best house in our whole neighborhood, and he had the best car for sure. And yeah, he had a motorhome. I never saw him use it because he worked a lot. Like, he was always working. He was a great provider for his family. That's what I would say to his funeral. He was a great provider for his family. And if you really want to know what you worship, what you wake up for every day, why don't you ask 5 people in your life to write a letter to you? You will never respond to it. I did this at 30. I asked people in my life, I said, I want you to list 1 to 5 the things you think are the most important to me. And I will never respond to it. And one person goes, I'm not going to send that to you. I go, you didn't even need to put your name on it. And I received these letters in the mail. I was so embarrassed because they were so right. At number 1, number 2, number 3, and I'm like, oh, like, this is not who I want to be known for. This is not the way I want people to see me. It doesn't matter, Shelene. That's how they see you.
Yeah.
It's like when you get on a scale. I'm like, no. I mean, I must still weigh 120 like I did in my 20s, right? And then you get on a scale and you're like, holy crap! Like, who broke the scale? The truth sets you free.
Yeah.
So when you're ready, at whatever age that is, you want to wait till you're 50, you want to do it at 23, you want to do it at 19, to have the truth set you free, you need to be willing to receive that. Because I think parents are coddling their kids. Billy, you're so good at this. You're great at that. You were the best in the this. You were the best in the that. But if you didn't get an award, I'm going to take you and give you an award. No, you didn't get an award because you weren't the best at that.
Yeah.
Someone else was. But you're good at this.
Right.
I feel like parents are coming around young people and then they go, I don't know, my mom said I was great at everything. You're not. You're not great at everything. Because we're supposed to look like a body. So that means someone has to be the toe, and someone's the ear, and someone's the finger. And when we work like that as a country, as a nation, as a world, it's powerful. There's one quarterback on the football field because that receiver was never meant to be the quarterback. He's got to catch that ball. So why is everybody going, I need to be the quarterback? Why? Who would watch football if everyone was the quarterback? No one's tuning in for Super Bowl for that. And you're not giving away the $1 million commercials. And I think that that's what happens. We're comparing ourselves to people, or seeing who's getting accolades for what they're doing. God can do great things through the person who doesn't care who gets the credit. And watch as you humble yourself, how you will elevate to positions and doors will open for you that no one could open. No amount of money, no amount of education, no amount of friendship. It's nuts. And I can say this to you because of where I'm at now. I couldn't have seen that at 23. And that's what's cool that you're doing this. Because either people can go, yeah, good for you, lady, or you can lean in and listen right now and actually change your life. And not have to spend the next 20 years trying to ask these questions. I wish I could go back to my 20-year-old self and say, here. Let me just bypass a little of that. You can go straight through.
I love that. So then I want to get to, because our interns asked a ton of amazing questions, but maybe let's close with this thought. So let's pretend that I'm a 20-year-old college student who has dreams to make a difference, to help people around the world, but I just don't know what to do, where to start, or even if I should start. So what's your advice to me? Lay it on me.
My advice would be, you need to do something today that pitch you closer to those ideas that you have. Because doing nothing doesn't feel right. And I think sometimes because we don't feel we have all the answers to see the end at the beginning, we don't even start the story. And my advice would be take one step towards any of that. Because here's the real reality of all of that question. Why do you want to change the world? Why do you want to do something that matters? And if you really do, or if you just want people to think that that's who you are, you're not going to move. But if you really want to do that because you don't care if people go, oh, Spencer's such a great guy, he started H4O, and it gives you a good reputation and a good name, you're just frosting a manure cake, it's all crap inside anyway. Yeah. So and a lot of people do things like that. They do things because it makes them look good, and they're going to shine the car up, right? But you get inside and it's just crap. It doesn't go anywhere. There was no engine in the car. It was all a joke. And that's what you need to identify first. Because your 20-year-old self can get to all those dreams as fast as a 40-year-old self could. Or a 60-year-old self could. And the sooner you can realize that, as soon as a 16-year-old self, hello H4O,
yeah.
I started a business in my bedroom when I was 15 years old because my parents would not buy me Sheminda fur pants to go back to school in. You probably don't even know what those are. And Jordache jeans. But your moms will know what those are. And so I think anybody that's watching needs to realize that little steps in a new direction right now today can get them facing a whole new way. Just take one step. And you've already achieved more than you did yesterday.
Yeah. It's this idea of, I guess, we're all in this direction or this path, if you will. And if you don't like where you're headed, well, then start making a course correction, right?
Yeah.
That's basically what you're saying. So if you want to do something but you know you're not doing anything,
right,
well then start taking little steps.
And to remember what faith is all about. Faith is being sure of what you hope for and certain of what you can't see. If you could see it all at the beginning, there's no journey in that. There's no faith in that.
It's boring.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, let's get to some of the questions that our interns have. Keep it up, everyone.
Yeah, good job, everybody.
So the first question here I want to get to is, what are your thoughts on college students and them having a plan for their 20s?
I think it's ridiculous. I know that sounds so crazy. I'm bucking. What plan exactly? What plan? You know, I feel like you need to figure out who you are and what you're passionate about, and then start pursuing that. And then give yourself grace when you realize you really hate that and you don't like it at all. But I told 100 people that I was going to go pursue this thing in Africa, and now I get there and I go, you know what, I don't like this, and I don't want to do this. Because you might come back and create an app or program, become a programmer that helps something over there, and that's why you had to see it. And so the plan is to never stop progressing forward in whatever you're doing today. That's the plan. Get off the couch, get off the whatever you're playing or, you know, YouTubing or whatever, and go do something today. Not that you can't come back to that later, but have movement in your life. I think that people are sitting around waiting for someone to knock on the door and give you your life.
Yeah.
And I even mean you're waiting for your parents to do that, or the right relationship, or the right college, or the right career, and it's never going to show up. And you're going to be living in your parents' basement at 30, and you're going to be that guy or girl. So do something today that moves you forward. And I'm not saying that it has to be big. I truly meant what I said earlier. Little steps in a new direction can get you exactly where you're supposed to go. Too much too soon is not good. It just isn't. You don't know how to process it. I've seen that in the industry, working with child stars. They do not know how to process it. And so then they check out with drugs or alcohol or medication, just check out because you can't function at that level. That kind of money, that kind of fame, that kind of success. You don't even know how to process your first name when you're a child star. Let alone have everyone tell you to say what you wear, it's what you say. Yeah. And so the fact that you have freedom to even discuss this right now today is you're in such a winning situation. You're in a winning situation that someone has already pigeonholed you into a career.
Right.
Before you even were old enough to make that decision. So the plan, no, I call it the plans. They're unlimited.
Yeah.
There's not one plan for your life. They're unlimited, unless we're talking about God. Because He's the way, the truth, and the life. You know what I mean? But I'm talking about, you're talking about career-wise, like, what's my plan? How do I execute? No, there's plans. There's many, many roads that can get you to where you want to go. That's the lie. And that's why when you go up one of them, you're like, ooh, I didn't like that. Great, go up a different one. Or turn around and walk the other direction.
But the only way to know is by doing.
Yes, you gotta do
right?
something. Yeah.
That's what drives me crazy is when people say, and they do this sometimes. We all do it, right?
Sure.
When it's like, gosh, I just don't know where to start, or well, if I do this, that means that I can't do that, or whatever. And it's like, well, you're not going to be able to do either,
Right.
if you don't just start doing something,
Yeah.
right? And that's how you'll figure
You
it out.
gotta be in it to win it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I love that. I think that's a great answer.
That's a good question.